listen to what people are saying here, and not get some like bite-sized bull for whatever your Twitter show or whatever you're doing.
My Twitter show? Give me my stuff. What are you doing? What's going on, everyone? James Klug here. Today we're in Huntington Beach, California, and we've been talking to people about why we believe defund the police is absolute nonsense. Now, before we get started, this video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN. Visit surfshark.deal/James Klug. You can get 84% off and 1 additional month for free. You guys can protect your internet security. Check out surfshark.deal/James Klug. Check out the footage.
Yeah, abolish that motherfucker.
Why is that?
Abolish the police department. Why do you need the police right now? You guys used to be able to police your own community. Yeah, why do we need police for if all they gonna do is brutal attacks?
That's all they do?
I mean, at least like 85% of it. Yeah.
85%?
85%. Go look at the race though, bro.
Why not turn all that money that you're giving for cops overtime? Which I don't understand. Why don't you explain why cops? Why do cops need overtime?
Because they work overtime.
I feel like if it wasn't no police here, it would be a way better place.
If the streets are safe now, why do we need the cops that we have here?
So you want to just get rid of cops and we're good to go?
I'm not saying that
if a neighborhood is safe, they don't need cops.
I'm saying maybe they need less cops.
So self-policing, vigilantism. I mean, didn't we see vigilantism with Ahmaud Arbery?
Who do you feel like actually chased him down and did that? Do you feel like some of them guys were officers of the law?
Well, they were civilians.
I don't know.
They're talking about removing $1 billion in funding from New York. Okay? One, where's the proof that will reduce crime? I don't think it will. Giving cops less resources never reduces crime. And then two, they're one of the best performing police units in the world.
I'm saying, look, there are no cops necessary here.
Right now there's not.
You don't see any
cops. You understand that cops still respond to criminal activity in Huntington Beach, right?
I do understand that, yeah. I do. When the crime is already committed and they come afterwards.
Things are going on as well.
Right.
And also, what data do you have to suggest that 85% of police officers are using unnecessary force?
I mean, I grew up in these streets though.
Last year, guess how many unarmed people were shot in New York? The whole state. I won't even talk about the city. We'll talk about the state. Guess.
Maybe a couple hundred.
Couple hundred?
Yeah.
Okay, there was one. 2018, there was 0. 2017, there was 0. 2016, there was 0. Things aren't as dangerous as they may appear. We don't need officers at all.
That's right.
I mean, that's true.
Right.
Okay, as of June 10th this year, Chicago has seen 239 homicides. They had the most dangerous day in 60 years the other day. 18 homicides in one day. They don't need police because you don't see it here. That means you don't need police.
If the police went away, this would become Chicago. That's the kind of alarmist talk that you're interested, propaganda that you're fomenting, right?
If all the police went away in Huntington Beach, yes, it would be a disaster. We look at that. They have in the state, I don't know, around 70,000 police officers. They have 20 million people. We're talking about them performing very well. Crime across the United States has been reducing, and that's a great thing. They're the people stopping criminals. You get rid of them, lawlessness goes haywire.
You gotta like. I honestly agree with it.
There's not really a space for bad apples in the police department. There's really, just like it's not appropriate for pilots to be a bad apple. You know?
There have been bad apples in pilots. There have been bad apples in doctors.
There have. But you got to root them out quickly.
Yeah.
You know what I do support? I support retraining all the cops.
Okay, so that's going to require more money. How many unarmed people do you think were killed last year in the United States? We have 330 million people.
And a lot of them was African Americans that got killed by police officers.
Officers are less likely to shoot an African American than they are a white person. Yes.
No.
But you're saying a lot. Put a number.
Yeah.
1,500.
1,500.
Okay, there was 55.
55.
How does that equate to defunding or taking away funding?
I think it needs to. It's a complicated question. I think defund them means you get your attention.
Yeah.
I think you hold their money.
You need minorities in senior positions and all police departments across the country. That's something that the police union is not ready to approach, though.
So where George Floyd was killed, Minneapolis, the mayor the city council is 1/3 black. The police chief is black.
1/3. and one that doesn't change the culture.
By the way, 55 out of that 55, that's not even saying that all of those people were innocent.
Yeah.
Half or more are assaulting the officers. There's people that are trying to ram officers with their cars that get shot. Now, a part of that number, for sure, a part of that number is officers that make accidents and bad officers, okay? So that is a part of the number, but to suggest that the number is just this massive amount of police officers that are bad officers, it's just not true. There's no data to suggest that that's even close to true. You're talking about, hey, holding people accountable. I agree with that. You and I both agree on that. But what does that have to do with removing their funds in order to keep Americans safe? This is literally public safety that you're threatening because you want to remove their funds.
You got to turn off the spigot, bring everybody to the table, and say, let's reassess this.
Those are superficial notes.
The head of Chicago police is black.
Totally superficial. Totally superficial.
These are major cities that have black police chiefs.
It would have to be a very dramatic change. I'm not talking about 1%. I'm not talking even a third. I'm talking about at least half.
At least half?
Yes. Why can't black people lead the police?
They can't.
Why can't?
He does it in Chicago. They do it in Minneapolis.
I'm talking about half.
It's important to look at this data and understand the grand scheme of things. I mean, are you as outraged by people in the medical field? There's 250,000 deaths due to medical malpractice. Where's the outrage about medical errors with officers?
There's outrage with that too.
What?
There's outrage with that.
Oh, you think as much as this?
Well, not today.
Are they trying to defund all the hospitals? They represent 13% of the population. I'm just saying you might be hard pressed to do that.
Who are you talking about?
Black community is 13% of the population. That's including women. I think you'd be hard pressed to get 50% of police forces black.
So your representation is based on a percentage then. So each race.
Not necessarily, but I'm just saying you might have trouble with that.
So you're saying if black people only account for 13% of the population, they only get 13% of the rights?
No, that's not what I said.
That's exactly what you said.
That's not exactly what I said.
They pay attention to small as petty crimes going on in their community instead of paying attention to what's going on bigger outside the box.
Local police deal with local crimes.
But still deal with local crimes that's coming from outside of different states. That's happening local in our community though.
Yeah.
That's affecting our kids.
What are you referring to?
As far as it's a lot of human trafficking going on. A lot of people
human trafficking is illegal and is being dealt with every single day.
A lot of people come up missing.
But you had to note that only 13% of the U.S. population is black. So what is your issue? Are you saying that
I don't have an issue with it. I'm just saying you might be hard pressed.
They should be eliminated then?
Eliminated from what?
I don't know. You noted that only less than 20% of the population is black. So their rights should be mitigated on that.
When did I start talking about rights?
Well, it just
you're just making stuff up in order to make your argument sound good. So you would prefer no police officers? Yeah. And allow that to go unchecked?
No, because what
are you going to go deal with the human traffickers?
I'm not going to deal with nothing. But they got the National Guard though. They got different people that can.
So you want to replace the police with National Guard?
Anybody that's but the police though, bro.
You don't really know what you're talking about because you're not really defending what I just came here and totally destroyed everything that you could potentially say.
You just gave me a bunch of afactual information.
Blue lives don't exist. Blue lives don't exist.
Who you with?
I'm with me, James Klug.
Yeah.
What's up? What's up, man?
Do I care? You sound like you look like an ass to me. I don't know.
Okay. Well, we don't need to talk. That's fine.
Okay. Off out of here.
What?
I hope you off out of here eventually.
We're having civil debates with people, man. There's no reason to be aggressive.
I don't know what you're dealing with.
They agree with me, so there's no point in that.
Yeah. Well, nobody agrees with you here, so.
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Because we're having civil political debate. We tried taking away money for police in 2008 during obviously we had a massive recession. We defunded police departments by actually less than what we're looking at now. There was a longer wait for 911 call response times. There was more crime that went unsolved. There was less police officers. They were forced to do more overtime, which costed more money.
Maybe you see the police department began as a slave patrol and has racism literally embedded in the entire institution.
It's not a slave patrol today. Come on.
But it's clearly targeting black people, killing black lives.
White individuals get killed and are killed more often than black Americans in this country.
Because of racism, because of white supremacy, because
No. White Americans are killed at higher rates.
It's because of you have to look at the rates.
Listen to what people are saying here, and not get some like bite-sized bull for whatever your Twitter show or whatever you're doing.
My Twitter show?
Whatever the it is. I don't care what it is.
I don't know why you're being rude to me. I have not been rude to you. Like, you know, when you are an adult, you talk to people and you give them respect when they give you respect. I haven't shown you any
You don't deserve
disrespect
any respect.
for saying I don't believe defund the police is a good idea.
Yeah.
Put more money into after-school programs. You put more money into the educational system, into high schools, into middle school.
programs are, at least in LAUSD, are open till 6 o'clock. They have great funding.
I went to Davis Middle School. Luckily, I had my grandma down the street.
Yeah.
I had friends that did not have any type of people to care for them because their single mom, was working 2 jobs to be able to take care of them. Now, what is that person to do after 6 o'clock?
Yes, there are more white deaths, but there's a greater white population in the United States. If you do it by percentages.
See, what you're doing right there is you're looking at total population. Looking at that is built on a faulty premise. You're using the total population, and the majority of people don't even encounter police. Yes, it is.
I don't know what the point is.
My point is keeping all communities safer, not making communities more dangerous by getting rid of police.
Well, you're wrong.
Okay, tell me how I'm wrong.
I'm not going to waste my time. Okay? Because you're scum.
You're a very nice man. You guys visit surfshark.deal/James Klug. Use my discount code James Klug, 84% off. 1 extra month for free, and you'll be happy. You won't be angry like that guy.
That's how any statistician would do it. That's how data is collected today. Any polling you do, you take into account a small population.
The overwhelming
and you
majority of citizens are law-abiding in the black and white community. You're including those people in your figure to boost your numbers.
Rates. I'm talking about rates.
You'll see people bringing up stats. Oh, black Americans are more likely to get killed by police. That is only true if you include total population. The reason why it is irresponsible and dishonest to include total population is because there are millions, tens of millions of people in the black community and white community that never even have aggressive police interactions because they're law-abiding citizens. So it makes more sense to look at total violent crime charges. So it's more focused on those situations. What I was saying before is they're very well funded. LAUSD has $7.6 billion in funding.
I understand that.
The United States spends over $700 billion on education.
You give me the stats over and over, and I believe you now.
But I want you to think about this.
Yes, I understand that, but you have to understand that it might not be enough. At least in my opinion.
So take it away from public safety, that's the answer?
Public safety,
as a sort of knee-jerk reaction?
In an ideal society, you wouldn't need so much public safety because people would be good, right?
Yeah, but an ideal society doesn't exist.
You're right.
Are they overfunded because it's a high number? I mean, I just don't hear much of a reason to remove the funding.
Yeah, I think they're overfunded. I think we wasted a ton of money on...
But how are they overfunded?
Because it's too big.
And is schooling's not overfunded? We spend more on schooling.
Schooling's definitely not underfunded, without a doubt.
They're saying, go fix the homeless problem, go fix mental health, go fix domestic abuse, when the police are not equipped to do that. And so rather, people like us who are trained to do those things.
So you want to go address a domestic abuse call, is that correct?
Not me personally.
You want someone that's unarmed to go do that?
No, but that's what ends up happening.
Domestic disputes are some of the most unpredictable and actually dangerous calls that a police officer encounters throughout his day.
I've been through a lot of them. I've been through a lot of them.
So we're not just going to send social workers into situations that are potentially deadly.
But you need social workers there.
I don't disagree with that. LAUSD spends almost $16,000 per student. You might know this stuff. He's your teacher. In fact, educate me if I'm wrong. Spends almost $16,000 per student. Most private schools cost less with better performance, and they're for profit. So to tell me that they're not possibly irresponsibly spending as well when there's those stats, California is one of the lowest performing school systems in the United States.
How do you improve communities? You invest in them.
You invest with them. People invest people invest in safe communities.
Yes.
Safe communities. They invest their hard-earned money in safe communities.
Yes.
Right? You need police to be enforcing rule of law to keep the community safe.
Slowly but surely, these communities, they will build their own police departments that will be for the community and for the people. They will completely restructure the police department as a whole.
So you want them to self-police?
I want them to self-police until they can create a new system.
The amount of black people killed by police is
How many black people? How many unarmed black people were killed by police last year?
Sorry, I don't have black men.
It's not being killed by police.
It is police brutality.
No, I'll put up the stat right here in the video, you guys. That's incorrect. These law-abiding citizens don't support this stuff in their communities. They want police presence and they want a good relationship with police as well. If anything, we should be investing more in training for or programs for developing better relationships with police officers in these communities. Okay. That's what's really going to help, man. And I think you agree with that.
I could partially agree with that.
They don't have the money to put these resources in the communities because we're funding the police.
She's very disrespectful. We have to address, as a community, we have to address what the issues are and where we should be taking the money from. As for saying that they are overfunded and we need to take money for that, I mean, they've already ran out of money to give overtime payments. And you know what communities are going to suffer if you defund the police? Not Beverly Hills, not tourist attractions. They're going to get on the phone, they're going to say, hey, we need police here. You know what? The communities that are going to suffer are the communities that need it most. Who's going to answer the call when someone's house is being broken into, when someone's being raped, when something terrible is happening, arson is being committed, a robbery? You're going to call I mean, why would they want to go there? And are they armed, by the way? Do you support them being armed?
I support them being armed. Okay. Yeah.
I'm telling you that Buena Park, where I live, gave the... Okay, rolling his eyes. Can't even finish the...
Because you're being... Hey,
give me
my
the
property.
damn sign.
Give me my stuff. What are you doing? Hey,
The sign is gone. Go back. The sign is gone.
All right, you guys. I'm trying to walk this way. Please let me walk this way.
Just go, bro.
I don't, dude. I'm literally not touching you. All right, you guys, do not touch me, please. Where'd my sign go? I'm sorry. It's gone. I'm sorry. I just got like freaking pushed around by a bunch of people. Yeah. That's what a non-violent conversation leads to.
I mean, they're very peaceful. I think the hardest part is when you talk to people that it's not even about politics. They just don't see it as a human rights issue with a few different angles to tackle the human rights.
I'm here to put things into context.
Totally. Some people just don't actually value other people, and that's the hard part.
I think you guys think that neighborhoods are safer than they really are.
No, I understand how dangerous they are. But if we change the system, people will be more open to being a more peaceful environment.
Give an example where we have done that before, and it's a good example to go based off of this.
We haven't, but we
haven't, so we're just guessing and hopefully it works out? No. I agree with the premise that they're going for. Safer minority neighborhoods, better opportunity. But here's the thing. It's okay to have a different way of going about that than taking money away from public safety.
It ought to be reform the police. Defund the police sounds like you don't want to give any more money to the police. Who are you going to call when somebody burglarizes your house?
The institution is so rotten. It's so intersected with hierarchy.
So it's to enforce white supremacy.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
It's so intersected.
Minneapolis, police chief, black. Chicago, head of police, black.
That's okay.
A lot of their police department, black.
I understand that because it's part of a system.
And they're all white supremacists? They're all helping white supremacy?
It is part of a tool, yes.
But when it comes to talking to people over here, what we've noticed is a lot of this is anti-cop. A lot of this is thinking that it's going to make it's going to make neighborhoods safer with less officers. That's not true.
I don't think they're coming from an educated or a research standpoint.
That's why we're here.
It sounds good. Sounds like, oh, defund the police, but then what are you going to do? Give me an answer. Give me an answer. How are you going to solve the problem? What's defunding the police going to do?
What I f***ing get?
And you guys, that's what happens when police officers are around. They can get rid of psychos.